Now this is the start of a few of videos related to our topic this week. I wanted to bring you guys around campus, but I think better not because for this week I think we need some form of slides going on for this particular topic. Now, in the last class, we talked about what is philosophy, we talk about what is education, and we talk about the combined term philosophy of education. So the activity that we did last week was listen to a podcast and then take out what is the learning point that you have from that particular podcast. I tak semak lagi. Bear with me. As I will slowly check and then give you marks on your writings. Alright, class. Now, there are four topics and four subtopics, more like it, under this topic. The first one is metaphysics. The second one is epistemology. The third one is axiology, and the final one is logic. So, I'm going to split it into 2 weeks. For this week, we'll be looking at these two items, metaphysics and epistemology. For the next week, we're going to look at axiology and logic. So for this week's activity, you don't have to take attendance. What you have to do is you answer a Google form, and that will give you 1 mark. So I want you to read a file and then choose 3 values that you think are closer to you. So this is based on a study by McKinsey, a global consulting firm, just published 2 months ago. Now, next week, we won't be having live class as originally scheduled. I think so. Yeah. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to do 2 more recordings of axiology and logic, and then we'll be having a quiz. So this quiz will cost 4 marks of your overall marks. So quiz ni you boleh buat sampai you dapat full mark 4 markah. So just repeat as much as you can until you score 4 marks. Alright? So there are 4 branches of philosophy. Number 1, metaphysics. Number 2, epistemology. Number 3, axiology. And number 4, logic. So in this introduction video, I'm going to just go through briefly what does every branch mean. There are 4 other videos where I'll talk a bit more detail about these branches of philosophy. So cabang falsafah pertama ialah metaphysics. Meta means beyond, physics meaning that subject lah, physics. So it's actually a combination of 2 different words. Why is that so? Wait until the next video. So for metaphysics, this is the study of questions concerning the nature of reality or existence. This is where we ask all the big questions. For example, what is being? What is the nature of reality? Adakah Tuhan itu wujud? Kalau Tuhan itu wujud, how do you prove that Tuhan is there? Do we have free will? And so on and so forth. These are very big picture questions that very hard to prove. I think one way. But for us in Malaysia, at least for most of you, I assume that we are fortunate because we have a religion to guide us. That's why these questions it's easier for us to digest because for Muslims we will look at Al Quran as a guide. for Christians, you will refer to Bible, and so on and so forth, depending on what religion you believe in. Okay, epistemology. So epistemology essentially we'll be talking about knowledge, the study of the nature of knowledge. Apakah itu pengetahuan? Apakah itu ilmu? Macam mana kita dapatkan ilmu? Macam mana kita nak buktikan yang ilmu tu sahih? Dan soalan-soalan yang sewaktu dengannya. So the bahasa pasar is that how do you know that you know the stuff you think you know? A bit confusing, but baca berapa kali, ada berapa komponen kat sini. How do you know? This is the part where you kena buktikan, you kena uh, cari jalan untuk membuktikan yang pengetahuan atau ilmu tu betul. Uh, that you know. You know mean to say the knowledge that you have. Ilmu atau pengetahuan yang you ada. Uh, the stuff you think you know. The stuff you think you know ni artinya apa yang ada kat sini. In your mind. How do you come to that? So wait for the next video on epistemology for us to discuss on this. Now this is the third branch of philosophy. I'm going to just highlight this image for a while. This image is, let's see if I can, okay, right. This image is actually a very famous comic online called Heart and Brain. You can go and Google Heart and Brain. Heart as in hati lah, H-E-A-R-T. Brain as in B-R-A-I-N, otak. So I like this comic very much because it is actually for me dia melambangkan aksiologi itu sendiri. The whole comic talks about okay heart ni dia ni ikut hati. And then brain ni dia logical, dia akan fikir dulu apa yang akan dibuat sebelum dia buat keputusan. So as humans, we either follow the heart or the brain. So the whole comic series is really really fun to read. I have I think four of the books at home just to flip through and laugh about it. But you don't have to buy the book. You can go online and read the comics. So coming back, axiology is the study of question or value. Value ni artinya apakah yang baik, apakah yang buruk, apa yang kita maksudkan bila kita cakap benda tu hodoh, benda tu cantik, apa yang betul, apa yang salah. So this is what it means when we talk about axiology. Now the final item is logic. So again, I'm going to sesat sikit and I'll talk about this comic. Go Google this term, the thinker. The thinker is actually a French sculpture of a naked man sitting and with that pose lah to think. So now when we talk about logic, we will talk about the study of how a certain item or a certain object can be constructed. So most in this particular branch of philosophy, we're mostly talking about inductive logic, deductive logic, what is a fallacy, how do you argue with someone lah. That's the short form of it. So nak gaduh-gaduh dengan orang ni sebenarnya kena ada cara dia. So the only way where you can win the argument is actually via logic. because in this particular branch of philosophy, it teaches you how to susun argument. Lepas susun argument tu, then you present your argument. Whether the arguments are correct or not, that's another story. So that's it for this particular introduction video. Cakap-cakap pun dah 9 minit. So why are we going through all these branches of philosophy? Um, this is because cabang-cabang falsafah ni dia akan bimbing kita in terms of cara berfikir. So as I mentioned last class, the main reason why we study philosophy, we need to search for knowledge. We need to ask questions. So kenapa nak tanya soalan? Kenapa nak cari ilmu? Kenapa nak cari pengetahuan? Sebab kita perlukan jawapan. We need answers to the questions that we have. So for philosophy, cara cari jawapan dia bukan cara yang diajar macam kat sekolah dulu. Soalan 1A dia ada skema jawapan, soalan 1B ada skema jawapan. No. When you study philosophy, it's out the window. Tak ada senarai macam tu. So answers will depend on cabang mana yang you fikir. So from an epistemological point of view, for example, these are the answers that you find. For metaphysical point of view, for example, this is how you find the answers. So I like this quote. It's coming from this book, very cool book. We're going to do something along the lines of this. I was quite inspired by this book actually. The fact that an answer is hard to find doesn't entail that the answer is not there. It just goes to show that mungkin cara you fikir pasal soalan tu tak betul. Mungkin from metaphysical point of view tak ada jawapan untuk that particular soalan. So you have to go on and on cari lagi jawapan dengan menggunakan pendekatan yang tak sama. So that's it for this introductory video. Now, a lot of the materials that I'm going to use for this book comes out from this book. Plato and a Platypus Walks into a Bar. It's a very funny book that simplifies penjelasan tentang cabang-cabang tadi itu. So that's it for this video. Zoho was just few minutes ago. So I'm going to pergi Zoho dulu. See you in the next video. Bye bye.